Get this going. Appreciate you sliding through.
Big love. Day off the weed. I'm here to tell you right now. We don't care.
Welcome to another episode of Around the Clock Podcast. We talk all things sports and culture. I'm your host, Dom. To the right of me is Brandon the Entertainer, my illustrious co-host. Today we got a special guest on the podcast today, Brian B. Shynin.
Big love.
You know, if you've been living under a rock the whole time, then I will have to do an introduction, but this man doesn't need one. 10 plus years in the game on radio. Hot 103 Jams. Don't forget to slam that Z. Been listening to the guy we talked about earlier, a little awkward, but since I was a kid, freshman in high school, man, appreciate you joining the show, man. We'll jump into some Kansas City Chiefs recap 2023 season, man. But
Thank you for having me, man, for real.
Sure.
Big love. I love what y'all doing. Plus, the Stephen A. drops. Like, who gives the better drops than Stephen A? Nobody, dog.
Man, I spent probably when we first got this, and I was like, man, we need some drops. And I was like, honestly, Stephen A. Smith got everything. Stay off the weed. Yeah. We had Charles Barkley drop in there too, but when things get hot and heavy, man, you hit one of them buttons when somebody's talking a little out of line. So
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we'll get started, man. Chiefs going back to the Super Bowl, man. 4 times in 6 years.
Another bowl.
That boy Pat Mahomes don't know nothing else but championship games and Super Bowls. It's kind of crazy, man. Shouts out to the Bills for trading up or trading down to us and letting us get pick number 10 to draft Patrick Mahomes Jr. It's exciting, man. Real big for the city, man. Y'all got any takes on that, man? You want to do a recap on the season?
Let's talk about the season a little bit. It was a little. Hey, listen. Okay, Brian doesn't know this, but I'm not. So I'm a second place team. Is the Chiefs.
He ain't a homer.
See,
ain't it crazy when you meet
I was
people,
waiting
man?
to tell you this on air because I figured you react nicer in front of the people.
I want to hear with this one team.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm a diehard Colts fan. You know, AR-15.
It's unfortunate, man.
Yeah, but listen, I don't hate the Chiefs. I'm not a Raiders or Broncos fan. I don't hate the Chiefs. I've never had.
He hates y'all.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, how old are you?
I was at that wild card game.
36.
Yeah. All right, we around the same age. You?
I'm 31.
Okay. Look, man, 10-year-old Brian will probably like be ready to box you right now. I don't know if you remember the 95 playoffs.
Cut the cameras.
With Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, I remember the Jim Harbaugh one. I don't remember
that bullshit that happened. Can I cuss?
Oh, for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So y'all won the game 10-7.
Mm-hmm.
Like Chiefs had the best defense in the league. It was supposed to be us versus the Cowboys in the Super Bowl. And the Colts came up in here. We had Steve Bono, and he stunk up the joint.
No.
Yeah, they took him out too late. Rich Gannon came in late. You know, and of course, Lynn Elliott misses 3 field goals. That ain't the only one, though.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the 0-3 game, the no-punt game.
The no-punt game.
2006, when y'all won the bowl, but we were supposed to beat y'all in that wild card game because we had the number 1 rush offense. Larry Johnson had 1,600 yards or something crazy like that.
And then we stopped them for 7 yards.
Stopped them.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Cold blood.
I was at the 0-3 game, the 0-3 wildcard game.
You was there?
At home.
Golly.
I was sitting almost where my season tickets are now and watched Reggie Wayne score that touchdown.
Did you watch Priest Holmes fumble?
I did. I mean, it was – so this, speaking of that, 95, last time the Chiefs, up until Mahomes, we played an AFC championship game. And so you got a lot of fans out there of the sports world who don't really know what we've been through as Chiefs fans. And I try to explain this to people all the time. We deserve to be exactly where we are.
Oh, can I get into this?
Absolutely.
All right. So y'all play Madden?
Yeah.
All right. I'm on Madden all the time, by the way. PSN is B Shynin, whoever wants some smoke.
All right. We're going to clip that.
You know, these dudes be getting on there, not somebody else with the Chiefs. Sorry, how you playing with the Chiefs? Bro, I don't want to hear that shit. Nobody said nothing when I played with Matt Castle.
Nope.
Nobody said nothing when I was playing with Brody Croyle.
Yeah.
Nobody was saying nothing when I was playing with Trent Green. Nobody saying nothing when I was playing with Bono. Nobody was saying nothing when I was playing with Dave Craig. Nobody was saying nothing when I played with Joe Montana. Okay.
Tyler Thick,
Tyler Thick, Tyler Palco. Where we want to go? Todd Collins.
Yeah.
Where we want to go with it? So I don't want to hear none of that about. I don't want to hear it. I played for years with Alex Smith when everybody else was playing with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Okay, and Donovan McNabb and Michael Vick running all over the field. I don't want to hear it, dog. I'm playing with Patrick Mahomes, and I'm unapologetic about it because I done been through the worst.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't forget when we drafted him, I mean, saying. Every pundit out there has something to say about his arm, his IQ. Y'all should have drafted Deshaun Watson. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on.
The Deshaun Watson comments. There's a couple of those ESPN and Fox analysts that were saying how stupid the Chiefs was for not going with Watson. And hey,
I'm gonna say that screenshot. My screenshot the day of the draft. It was 2 hours before the draft. I said my prediction that Kansas City Chiefs will trade up in the top 15 or so to draft Patrick. I'm saving that forever.
I gotta you on Facebook, right?
Yes, sir.
So Facebook give you the memories. You can check the memories of stuff you posted years ago. I got a memory that pops up that I share every single year. The night we drafted Patrick Mahomes, I made a real long, not long, but quick synopsis of his ability. We got a gunslinger. This is the guy that we need. The comments are crazy on there, and I'm defending this guy. I'm like, we're gonna be all right. Y'all should have got Watson. Y'all should have got this. He's a bum. He played in the Big 12. No defense in the Big 12. Every year I repost that, and all I just say is check the comments because nobody believed it.
What was the thing that was like yeah, they finna go get him? What was it? Did you have a moment like that? Because I did.
I had a feeling we were going to trade up and get a QB. I didn't know if it was going to be Patrick Mahomes, but I did not want it to be Deshaun Watson.
Oh, I knew he was getting a quarterback.
I didn't want it to be Deshaun Watson.
I was at the Steelers game, the playoff game when we lost with all them field goals. I was there, and I ain't never seen Arrowhead leave a game so mad. Everybody was pissed. Like mothers were pissed off. Like everybody was so mad after that game because Alex Smith had missed several Tyreek Hill touchdowns that game.
And that was, and Alex Smith, that 2017 season had arguably the best season of his entire career. I mean, you still had people that were like, do we start this guy next year? Yes, absolutely.
Now, that was after the 16 season.
Well, yeah, I remember that game too because we lost on field goals. I mean, we always went there because when was the last time we had a home playoff win too? Was that the 95 season?
Before no. So the night you mentioned the AFC Championship game, that was 93. The last home win in the playoffs before then was the 93 season against the Steelers, the wild card game where we had to block a punt and we took it to overtime. Joe Montana hit Tim Barnett in the back of the end zone. But that moment that I knew that the Chiefs was getting Mahomes, it was Gruden's quarterback camp.
I do remember that. I do remember that.
And he was like, I'm gonna go with Patrick Mahomes.
He was intelligent in that interview.
Yeah, and like the way he was breaking the film down, like he had an arm or whatever, but when he was breaking that film down, and he wasn't breaking it down like he can do now. Because you remember in the shop with LeBron, he was like, I didn't even know how to read defenses.
No. And you could tell his first couple of years he struggled a bit.
Yeah, some
of the decision making skills, but it's panned out.
I think during that time with Gruden, the thing that stuck out most to me was when he confidently sitting back there just talking to Gruden. He was like, and he was talking about his rolling out ability and stuff like that. He was like, I can make every throw in the pocket. When he just dead said, no joking, no smirk, no nothing. He's like, every throw in the pocket I can make. I was like,
it's that baseball. Have you seen his high school film? Like he been like that since high school.
Pieces. Yeah.
I've seen a few, and he been like that since high school. So continue with the Chiefs conversation. Are the Chiefs a dynasty? What you think of that?
Not yet.
I don't think so either. I think that this Super Bowl potentially solidifies that because of the 6-year run. That's tough.
I've always said that we got to get 3 bowls.
I agree.
Like in a decade, you get 3, dynasty certified.
I mean, if you walk away with 3 Super Bowl wins, 6 straight chips in the AFC Championship game, 4 Super Bowl runs, it's hard not to call because no one else has ever done this. I mean, even Brady in his 23-year season, I mean, he went in bits and pieces. He went to 8 straight championship games. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think he ever went.
Hold up, wait a minute. Am I going? Is this? Y'all sound like unbiased Chiefs fans. I wasn't prepared for this. I was prepared.
Unbiased.
I was prepared for some just outlandish comments right now. This y'all for you know how many Chiefs fans are out there calling this a dynasty? I was just prepared.
No, it's not yet.
I was prepared for that answer. So I got to go back in my mind right now.
He got smoke ready.
Yeah, he do. If they win this coming Sunday, which they will, then it is a dynasty. Because I mean, outside of Brady and the Pats, who else has ever done this? Who else has come close to doing this?
I mean,
Joe Montana.
We got Steelers back in the 70s.
I would say, getting to the bowl ain't enough.
No, you got to win it.
Or the Bills a dynasty in the 90s. Hell no. No. Are the Vikings a dynasty?
Oh,
you
you're talking about because they went 4 straight.
Yeah.
And they lost 4.
Are they a
straight.
dynasty?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You gotta win a bowl, dog. Like the only reason the Cowboys are a dynasty or they had a dynasty is because they
were dominant
and they won the bowl. And three years out of the decade.
If Jerry West won all those championships, there wouldn't be any argument who's the GOAT. Because how many did he go to? 10 or 11? And I think he won 1.
He only won 1 against the Knicks in 71, I believe. But he went to plenty. But yeah, man, you got to win that bowl, dog, in order to really like solidify that deep. That man, look, I think a lot of times we water down the word GOAT.
Oh, for sure.
And I'm not trying to water down the word dynasty. Like it takes time to build a dynasty. Look, we almost at the mountaintop.
Oh, right? For sure.
We almost like you win 3, you got it. But we cannot afford to water down that word. Like they call the Bears a mini dynasty. Bro, that ain't no mini dynasty. They had a great defense in the 80s. They won 1 bowl, bro. They only went to 1 bowl.
Yeah.
It's not a dynasty.
So with the GOAT talk and, mountaintop, not saying, because I don't believe that Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT yet, but if you're making a Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks, how do you leave him off of it? I'm right now, even right now, in with everything that he's done.
I think the only reason why you leave him off is because he's still playing. I mean,
it ain't done yet.
I think you have to wait until somebody's career is finished to see how it pans out because there's a lot of guys who play sports, whether it's NBA, NFL, whatever, that had a good 5-6 year run. Now, granted, 4 Super Bowls, 3 wins, that's a hell of a run. But what happens in the next 10 years, man, if it doesn't pan out? If he turns into, which I know won't happen, but.
Look, let me preface this by saying I'm putting Mahomes on my Mount Rushmore right now. But I think it's unfair to gauge his greatness all time. It ain't done yet.
Yeah. I agree with that.
It's still in its infancy stages, man.
With that said, who's on your Mount Rushmore?
Well, Brady, of course. Like I think Brady is. Despite what he did to the Chiefs, which dude is a GOAT, and he's a GOAT because he's the GOAT because of his competitiveness.
Yeah,
that it's more than what's on the field, dog. It's how he willed that team 28-3 in that second half in that Super Bowl, bro. Like they had to make like 2-point conversions in that game late in the fourth quarter to continue that game, dog.
And he's just he's a team guy. You hear him, in his postseason, the stuff he talks about. He's like, man, how the certain people he'll play with or how he won't play with them.
Coachable,
yeah,
bro. Brady is the only thing that you would want to add to Brady is mobility. Everything else he got it surplus. So yeah, Brady is one. He's on there. Mahomes is on there. Montana's on there. Now my last one. You got an argument with Montana?
No.
Oh, it definitely ain't Peyton Manning. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It definitely not. And we can get into that. It's definitely not him.
What?
We can get into that.
Your evidence?
Oh, what? Super Bowl 48? That's one.
Super Bowl 48.
Was that 48 or 49?
Oh, with the Broncos?
No, yeah, with the Seahawks.
Nasty work.
I'm just saying. Well, how come it ain't?
He was going against. That's the Legion
I
of
don't
Boom
want to hear
at
it, bro.
its height.
It's Peyton Manning.
That's the Legion of Boom at its height.
It's Peyton Manning.
Yeah. And then let's talk about his last Super Bowl win.
He won it.
He was on the team.
I ain't gonna.
He was on the team. He was on the team.
But you got eyes.
He was on the team.
You got eyes, and you saw what happened.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring up a guy winning a Super Bowl and calls it as a negative.
I hate Peyton. On the field, I hate him. He's 1 or 2 in my top hated players of all time. I'm sorry, dog.
Yeah.
He's top 5.
What he's done to the Chiefs in his career, I can't stand that bastard, man. I can't.
I mean,
Elway might be one.
Got the record for most MVPs in a career. I mean, what's this guy got to do to get it on a Mount Rushmore of quarterbacks?
I would low key take Eli over Peyton. I'm being dead ass serious.
I got him backed into 2 Super Bowls. Right? Why I say back into 2 Super Bowls? Because he had 8 losses each time he went into the playoffs.
Hey.
You talking about Eli?
Yes.
It don't matter.
He got there and he won.
And when all you need to do is get in the tournament.
I'm not.
Hey, how about this? How
never beat.
How did Eli Manning's matchup fare against the GOAT to his brother?
What do you mean?
He beat the GOAT when it mattered.
But he didn't beat his brother.
His brother ain't the GOAT. Nobody care about that.
They faced each other like I think 3 or 4 times and never beat him.
Eli beat the 18-0 Patriots.
Hey, I love it. I love it.
And it was nasty work.
I was a Patriot hater at that moment.
The throw in the 11th Super
How you
Bowl.
How you feel about Peyton Manning? That's how I felt about Tom Brady back then.
I understand it. I see it.
Because if
But
it wasn't for Tom Brady, we'd be talking about a different GOAT right now.
Maybe. But Peyton couldn't move, man.
Neither one of them can move.
Brady could move in the pocket. Like he had good footwork in the pocket.
Peyton Manning was the most cerebral quarterback you would ever. Is it probably going to ever happen? In
I ain't gonna take that away from him because I love watching Manny Cass. I live and die for Manny Cass.
What?
Top 2 criers in the league too.
Tom Brady, Peyton Manning?
No, Peyton Manning and Philip Rivers. Those are my top 2.
And see, y'all listen.
That was my
Let me
top
tell you
2.
this right now. Y'all ain't listening to the outside world. See, y'all ain't listening to the outside world. A lot of people call him Patrick Mahomes a crybaby right now.
Oh no, I see that.
They
I
call
see
him
it.
a whiner.
Look, I've been on this podcast saying 100 times the number one thing I hate that he does is this right here.
He's trying to get the play in.
But I don't like that. Let your coach cook. Andy Reid can cook.
He need to play.
It always. I'm like, I love everything about your game, but that right there.
He trying to get to the next play.
But I will. I low-key hater.
He a low-key hater.
I did a commercial with Patrick Mahomes. I love Patrick Mahomes.
He did do a commercial.
We sat in the locker room all day.
He thinks he was
one of them hobby joint.
I had Community America. I had a ball in my hand. I was a backup
quarterback.
I had a ball in my hand.
They didn't give him a position. They just had him stand next to the quarterback with the ball in his hand.
I had on Coach
pads.
Walker was in that one of them commercials too. He was one of the linemen.
I don't know if it was. Do I know Coach Walker? Who?
You might. Well, I mean,
I have to see him.
Big, tall, like 6'5".
Maybe this was like 3. This is the year we won the Super Bowl. Actually,
20.
When they played that commercial every single week.
Yeah,
we only got paid once for that. I'm sure Pat got a nice little bag.
You signed my
life. I signed my life away.
Yeah.
No, but I'm not a hater, man. I will say I don't think he's I think he's a competitor. I think people get that confused a lot of times, even with Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. Because when you watch quarterback, I mean, he's a competitor. I was like, talk your shit, big dog.
Yes, sir.
Talk your shit. I love it. Let America know who you really are.
That made my fandom go up.
I love it. I'm him.
Quarterback, dog.
Against Max Crosby, I'm him, dog. I'm here all day. I love it.
Something about that. This is all a little off topic. I ain't never talked about this. But I was a little pissed off with the Chiefs, with that quarterback, when they did the premiere in Arrowhead. Did you go to that?
I did. I was there.
Yes, Guess who was supposed to be there?
You?
Me.
Yeah.
But I didn't get my invite. Let me tell you this.
They got lost in the mail?
We have a group of social media creators in Kansas City. They invited all the group to the Royals for social media day at the K. All of us came. We made content, all this stuff. The same group gets invited to the premiere of the Netflix deal, quarterback, except for one person.
The Colts fan.
The Colts fan.
I mean, it makes sense to me.
That's messed up.
It makes sense to me.
I'm trying to represent my city.
They gave us these Patrick Mahomes MVP bobbleheads too.
Oh boy, you missed out.
Trying to make me feel bad?
You would want one of them? I wouldn't want. I wouldn't want a man who ended the career of Andrew Luck. I wouldn't want that.
Ended the career of Andrew. Keep on topic. I can go down that rabbit hole. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Keep on topic.
What was Andrew Luck's last game? I was there.
It was nasty.
Ooh.
I wasn't there. I didn't have my season ticket yet. 2 years in the making now, though.
All I know is right before he quit, the actual last game that he was on the roster,
did you boo him too?
The Colts won in Arrowhead.
And he shows up with some crazy fits when he does come back to Indianapolis. Have you seen those on the sideline?
General
man.
Luck.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this, bro?
Colonel Luck.
Like, damn, boy, you been living in the middle of nowhere.
Andrew Luck.
Anyways,
we got
man.
AR. We got AR.
Look, I'll say that the Colts, good uniforms. Very nice uniforms, I'll say that. Except them ugly ass midnight joints that y'all brought.
Hey, I like those.
Why?
Bro, it looked like Duke, didn't it?
They look like an XFL team.
Outside, good uniforms, awful owner. I mean, we've talked about it.
Yeah.
We talked about it before. Ursay is.
Ain't this a Chiefs episode? What are we doing?
I mean, this is
me.
This is a sports podcast.
It's supposed to be
I don't know if you heard the intro where I said we talk all things sports and culture.
This is a special Chiefs episode. I came in here saying I am not a Chiefs hater. I'm not. But y'all hating on me.
Good.
My bad.
Hey.
Are the Chiefs
Nah.
are the Chiefs becoming, because you've got here Bob Costa saying they're America's
Bob
team
Costas
over the
went,
Cowboys.
and he
but
doubled down on it too.
I think that they're becoming America's most hated team. I think
Oh, I love it.
nobody. I mean, I love it too. Give us that same
Bring
stuff that
it.
y'all gave the Patriots. I love it because that means we winning.
Yeah.
You know, I love the Taylor Swift hate. I love the Travis hate it all.
'Cause
It's
I tell
just
you
helping
what,
us out.
If somebody hates the Chiefs as much as I hate the Cowboys, like props to you, because I vehemently hate them bastards.
Oh, and the Cowboys fans are way
Yeah.
worse.
I hate it.
And that's how I am. I kind of agree with Stephen A. when he talks about it. It's not. I don't hate the Cow. I don't. And we talked about it on our very first episode. I don't hate the actual team. I like a lot of the players, everything, but it's those fans. I cannot.
It's all love.
stand
Fans,
Cowboy
ownership.
Fans.
Who's the
Fans and ownership.
Who's the only owner in all of sports who's always in the media? I think he's got his own sports show too, Jerry Jones. Like he's the face of the franchise.
You know they're the always save Chiefs. Y'all know that?
Huh?
If it wasn't for the Chiefs, there would be no Cowboys.
Well, yeah, because the Hunts are from Dallas. That
Yeah.
family's from Dallas. They left.
The Chiefs were trying to get a team in the NFL. Well, the Hunts, I should say, were trying to get a team. Lamar Hunt was trying to get a team in the NFL for years, and they wouldn't let him do it. He was like, "All right, fuck y'all. I'm gonna just get my own league." And that's where the AFL came.
Yeah.
A year later, guess who was invented? Because at first they didn't believe in Dallas football in the NFL, but then a year later in '61,
Yeah.
Cowboys come, and that's why the Chiefs in '63 moved to Kansas City.
You're welcome.
The always save Chiefs, Cowboys. Thank you. Yeah, Dallas,
Yeah.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I love it, man. I mean, you see it all the time now on social media. We're in a group chat with some other guys on a podcast network, and I can't wait for the Chiefs lose. I can't win. I'm like, I'm always respond to it because, again, they're Houston, Texas fans. So they starting to get a little taste of C.J. Stroud. You know, you saw a rookie quarterback go to the playoff. I'm like, again, as we talked about earlier, we deserve to be here. We've drafted well over the last several years, man. We got a nice young defense, man. I mean, every star on this team has been drafted. Travis Kelce drafted, Patrick Mahomes drafted, Nick Bolton drafted, Chris Jones drafted, L'Jarius Sneed drafted. I mean, all these guys. And so it's the downside for me as a Chiefs fan is like, what are we going to do with all this? You know, because payday is coming soon. Chris Jones mentioned the other day he wants to stay with the Chiefs. They obviously did this whole song. He's out of there.
He gone.
After you snubbed me and gave me a 1-year dear dog, give me this ring and I'm gone. Unfortunately,
It's Chris Jones' last game in the Chiefs uniform.
Karlaftis has stepped up. They didn't love him when we drafted him. It wasn't a sexy draft pick.
My brother didn't.
But it on paper, he a dog. Nick Bolton on paper, he a dog. So it worked out. Felix is the only draft pick I'm still a little concerned about, but he doesn't see the field, unfortunately.
Well, with that said, and kind of going a little bit of both those questions in the whole season, has the Chiefs, you think, I mean, throughout the playoffs, do you think they fixed this whole, hands problem with their receiving core?
There's two things with the hands problem. There's the Chiefs' struggles early on in the year. And what I tell everybody who doesn't understand Andy Reid is that Andy Reid don't get to cooking until the postseason. So he's fine losing in the regular season. He's fine giving you some of this game plan, but Andy Reid don't really start cooking until the postseason. A lot of stuff you see. Now, hands-wise, I mean, Rashee Rice has turned it around. He's a dog. He's got a bright future in Kansas City. Is he the answer?
I actually want to take back what I said. And I said it on this, and I want to take back what I said. I said, and I've been known to say this on multiple different platforms, that I don't think Rashee Rice is a one receiver.
Ooh.
I'm taking that back. I do believe. I'm like, look, I'm just doing the eye test. I have nothing. I don't know the stats to go off of, but I'm just doing the eye test. And the way he's been playing lately, I want to say in the last 3 to 4 games, I'm impressed.
Yep.
I think he can. He's a rookie. And so
870 something on the season, I think. Matter of fact, I got it right
think
here.
the Chiefs have fixed their problem through play calling.
938.
I think that's what's changed since the Raiders game, is that you look at that Raiders game and we didn't run the ball at all. And it was steady pass. You look at what the defense that the Raiders were playing. They rushing no more than 4 people throughout the whole game.
Yeah.
They didn't blitz. They said, all right, we just going to cover, because we know you're not disciplined enough to run the ball on a consistent basis to make us respect it. And so they didn't run the ball. It was a catastrophe.
Yeah.
A catastrophe. And so I think ever since then, like the Bengals game, the Chiefs have finally bought into who they are, which is, damn it, we need to run the ball, bro. The way these defenses are playing.
You got to trust in it. You got a young guy who can get it done. You think he averages, what, 3.5 a carry, maybe something like that. I don't got the numbers in front of me, but he does well enough.
Look, defenses are playing too high, waiting on people to pass. Run the ball, bro. And that's what the Chiefs have done. They continue. That's what impressed me about the AFC Championship game last week, was that they continue to run the ball, even though it wasn't necessarily working a lot. I think Pacheco had like 24 carries or something like that. It was only for like 60-something yards. But the fact that they still kept trying to run the ball instead of throwing it, they get a pick. Now they got momentum. They at home. Baltimore going crazy. It could be a completely different game.
Bro.
Yeah, I think scheme, like you said, helps out a lot. I think the receivers have now figured out a way to create a little bit better separation. I think scheming with those routes as well, because we struggled early on with Justin Watson was like your deep threat guy, which kind of blew my mind a little bit. Thought that'd be like Sky Moore or something like that.
And it's the timely catches too, dog. Like the times that they were dropping the balls during the pause in the regular season, like it was ridiculous. MVS at the end of the Packers game dropping the ball. Who was it? MVS again in the Eagles game dropping a touchdown.
Yeah,
but now playoff MVS has shown up
different,
and it's made a difference, bro.
Back-to-back years, and I mean, people didn't like. Pat was playing with a very young offense as far as receiving weapons go. Outside of MVS, a rookie in Rashee Rice, a second-year guy in Sky Moore. Justin Watson is, he's a fourth guy at best on any other team in the NFL, maybe in a fifth guy. He might not even make the roster.
Tony's 2-year guy.
Tony's a 2-year guy. This is his third year. Second year last year was
fourth year.
Yeah, last year he was a rookie.
He's up out of here regardless.
Oh yeah, he won't be around. Yeah. You got to stay off that social media, man. He does a little too much at times. Now I don't think the wide receiver woes are fixed per se, because you got to consider, all right, Travis Kelce's 34 years old. He played exceptional in the postseason. He actually had a good year compared to his previous 7 seasons. Obviously not, but he ain't gonna be here another 2-3 seasons. Probably not. I don't think so. What do you think he'll last longer than that?
I don't know, dog. It's sketchy at this point because you done seen like players get hurt all the time in the league, but when you get older, 34, it just take longer to recover.
Yeah,
and I think that's what we seen this year, and that's what slowed him down. Is he ain't youthful. And when you get older, you got to stay in that hot tub a little bit longer. And that's why he took that last week off. And I think that was important too.
Oh, for sure.
To build momentum into this postseason. But I don't know, dog.
I think as a big, I don't know. We're not that good of friends anymore, but I've been around him before. But as far as a business decision, I think it's going to be in his, best favor, I think, to no longer play. I mean, he's in every commercial in America right now. He's on every billboard. He's dating the number one pop star in the world. I mean, it just
he's definitely setting
it makes sense. His postseason career is going to be very nice.
Yeah, he's
going to be
chess
very,
right now.
very, very nice. And so number one podcast. They're doing
I
great.
also wonder how long that would last.
The podcast
after both of them retire, like just like the popularity.
You know what they need to do? They need to flip that into a Manning cast type situation, like with Amazon or
Peacock,
whatever,
all these streaming services,
CBS, whatever. Because I don't know how successful the ratings are for the Manning cast. Me, I love it. I don't watch them when they're on. I don't watch the main.
No, I do too. It's great.
Monday Night Football, but they talking about doing this with Saban and Belichick too. Like I could see them, the Kelsey brothers doing that.
But I think that even in retirement, they're one of the only sports podcasts that have captivated America. So like you got like Paul George, he's got his own show, Pat Beverly, and a couple other guys like the Long brothers. They got some shows, but unless you're like a true fan of those guys, you don't really tune in. But America tunes in to the Kelsey brother podcast. You got my girl follows them. She don't follow Chiefs football. She don't follow no sports at all. But they post good enough content outside of the typical sports world, and they're giving people inside scoops of their day-to-day lives. I think it'll last.
I think so. I mean, it could, but I just think I think they're going to have some more. I think they're going to do something together. You know what I'm saying? Rather if it's continue doing the podcast or because I think the country loves both of them together and that kind of that family dynamic that they've been going. They
live shows and all that type of stuff.
Yeah,
but
they'll be doing something. They're probably going to. I think are they filming a second season for Prime for his brother? You know that Catching Kelsey or whatever. I think it is a second season for that.
I think Catching Kelsey was Travis.
The one
show.
in 14.
Yeah, that was Travis.
The Dayton show.
Yeah. he don't like talking about that.
Nah, he don't.
He trying to bury that. But yeah, Chiefs. Chiefs are doing great. Receivers, interesting fact that I found out the other day, there's only been 3 Chiefs receivers that have ever, I think, hit for over 900 yards. You know who those receivers are?
900?
I believe 900. I might even be 600.
What do you, in the postseason?
That we've drafted, period, in a season.
Are you serious?
3 receivers, 3 drafted receivers. Yeah.
Dwayne Bowe, definitely.
Absolutely.
Did we draft Stephon Page? I don't know if we drafted him. Snoop Menace?
You got to go back.
Otis Taylor?
Nope. No, not that far. 90s.
Okay. Late Dawson?
Nope.
Willie Davis?
Nope. His brothers, he got a son in the league, and both his brothers actually coach here in town.
He got a son in the league. In the 90s. Oh, Kevin Lockett?
Nope.
No. Late Tamarick Vanover? Nah. Go ahead, hit me with it.
Horn.
Oh, Joe Horn.
Joe Horn.
Okay.
So Joe Horn, Dwayne Bowe, and Rashee Rice, and a 30-year time period are the only drafted receivers.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That shows you how hard it is to hit on receivers.
Like Derek Alexander, he wasn't drafted.
Well, I guess 4. I'm sorry. Tyreek Hill, obviously, too.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we didn't even.
How about Tyreek?
we didn't even
my bad. That's how bad I erase him out of my memory.
That's crazy. I didn't even think of that.
I think about like who looks better in 10 now, Pacheco or Tyreek Hill.
Hey,
the Colts had Reggie Wade and Marvin Harrison do it for like 8 years straight.
We ain't had that.
Okay? No, we haven't.
On the same team.
And I love how, and I hate to say this, but when you don't play for my team anymore, I don't really necessarily root. I love how unsuccessful Tyreek Hill has been against the Chiefs since he left.
I don't
hate his success, and I was hoping if he could crack 2K, he deserved MVP. But when he plays us, I love that he gets shut out of the game.
He cool just as long as he don't go to Denver, Vegas, the Chargers, or the Cowboys.
Yeah, I don't think he will. What has he got? Another 3 years in Miami.
He'll play for a long time, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That was one of them deals where I still couldn't believe they couldn't work out a deal. I mean, obviously it's worked out in the Chiefs' favor. You won.
What? Look, man.
You was thrilled. You was thrilled to get rid of him.
Well, no, I did not. I want to look. I never wanted to get rid of him, but I knew I'm the type of person where when reality hits, all right, bet I can't do anything.
It's a business. It's a business.
And I knew when he's asking for. Like this Chris Jones, I don't want to see 95 go, but that's what's finna happen, bro.
Oh, for
Veach
sure.
don't pay 30-year-olds, 30 and up. He don't pay them.
Well, and Tyreek missed out on a bag early in his career.
He did,
unfortunately.
Yeah, and and that's what he was looking for. So you ain't finna hit us for a lick if you ain't trying to be here to win. Once you can see now, okay, he wasn't he was trying to win, but he wants to be the man. He was never gonna be the man here.
No, not
sorry,
with Pat, unfortunately,
not with Kelsey.
No,
you wasn't gonna be the man, bro.
Their bond is just a little different, and you see that a lot with quarterback and tight end duos. Actually, Brady and Gronk, just that relationship outside of the receiver.
Oh yeah.
And look what it's turned into. It's the best Chiefs defense in team history, along with the 6. I think the only defense in this history is competing with this one is the 69 defense. Because it got a number of Hall of Famers.
Yeah, Bobby Bell.
It got 7 Hall of Famers on their defense.
What about the 90s defense?
No. 95 defense was good. No, the 95 this defense held the Dolphins to 7. It held prime MVP Lamar Jackson to 10 funky ass points in the AFC Championship.
And it's held a lot of dogs in this league at receiver without touchdowns.
Don't get me started. Can we go down the list for Snead?
Let's talk about it.
Can we go down the list?
Yeah.
Let Devontae Adams twice.
AJ
Justin
Brown.
Jefferson gave him the business and put him out for 8 weeks because he was on my fantasy team. Shut Tyreek down twice. Okay, Diggs. AJ Brown, like you said, the other Brown from the Bears, shut him down.
Yep.
Or not Brown. What's his name? DJ Moore.
DJ Moore.
My bad.
Jamar Chase.
Bro, Jamar. Oh, he didn't play. No, Jamar Chase played. Hell yeah.
Because they was jawing the whole game. I was there. They were jawing. We've talked about it before. He got snubbed on the first team All-Pro. Got snubbed on a Pro Bowl.
He gets second team All-Pro.
Best defense in Chiefs history, bro.
Yeah.
I was shocked when I scrolled down the second team and didn't see him on there. I'm like, what does this dude got to do?
Yeah.
What does he have to do to get?
Didn't allow a touchdown the whole season,
I think
except in the AFC Championship game or against the Bills.
The divisional round, wasn't it?
Divisional, yeah.
And I think that was just a little bit bad communication. But y'all want to talk about this Super Bowl? Want to get into these Super Bowl predictions, man? The Chiefs Super Bowl 55. Is it Super Bowl 55?
8
50. God,
for DT.
good Lord. Yes, I saw it.
Was a bad.
I saw his son post that. I saw his son. I know. I'm sorry. I saw his son actually post. His son said they're working on some type of memorabilia for 58 through his. I don't know if it's through the NFL, but for Derek Thomas and the Chiefs. But Super Bowl 58, Kansas City Chiefs, as expected, even though it was a down year for the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes.
Shouts to Nick Wright, man.
Boy, through and through. He a real one.
That's why people hate us so much. That's why.
Because he only FS1 talking that talk.
Nick Wright. Shit. Oh my God, thank you. You are a gift.
And he's committed. Going up against the San Francisco 49ers, either way for the Chiefs, this is going to be a rematch. Either it was going to be a Week 1 rematch or it was going to be a rematch of the Super Bowl, the 2020 Super Bowl. So I think that this will be a good matchup. I think that you got Brock Purdy on here. I think he has silenced a lot of the critics. I'm in a couple of group chats. I don't necessarily love the Cam Newton shit talk about him.
What is
being a game manager and being the number 10. He's played exceptionally well in the postseason. He has.
And look,
a comeback against Detroit.
I'm gonna let you have his dance. Yes, sir. Please.
I don't understand the Cam Newton hate when he calls the man a game manager, which is not like he's not trying to say like he's a bad guy or bad player. He's just saying he manages the game.
I agree. It's just hard to call a guy a game manager when you're top 5 in the league in passing yards and top 5 in the league in touchdowns.
See,
I think that's a little tough.
This is where I got to come in.
I think it's a little, and he got weapons.
What you see with your eyes, though? What do you see with your eyes when you see Brock Purdy?
I mean, a game manager to a degree.
What did he do against the Browns when there was no Trent Williams and it wasn't none of them. The real dogs. Wasn't no Debo that game either, I believe. And they lost. Like, that's my thing with Purdy, bro. Can you get it done on your own? Can you put Purdy on this Chiefs offense this year?
Oh, it'll probably get ugly. It get ugly. I ain't gonna lie. It get ugly. It get ugly.
And like earlier when I was talking about like watering the word GOAT down and watering the word dynasty down, like
oh, for sure.
Like people was trying to compare that man to Patrick this year. What we doing, y'all? What, like it was according to the MVP race because of the numbers.
Yeah.
Like his numbers gonna be good.
The MVP race is really just it's not much of an eye. Only person I thought that should have won it for the regular season would have been Lamar Jackson because he was playing
or Tyreek.
He was playing spectacular football. Tyreek would have never got it because you got to do something that's never been done before, in my opinion.
I agree.
Now, I think that a skilled player should get it, but it just won't happen.
Outside of quarterback.
Outside of quarterback, that when you're playing that good, even though the level of QB play wasn't that spectacular this year, Brock Purdy should have never been in that conversation.
Who's the best regular season quarterback? That's what MVP is.
And that's something that I don't necessarily love. I mean, Lamar should get it, but yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. You know, I'll walk back my statements. I've seen him play well in some games.
He's played well.
He shows up.
He plays well with amazing talent.
Yeah, for sure.
Like Cam Newton said something that stuck out to me. He was a little off, I think, in my opinion, but he said he is the 10th best player on that team. That's too far. That's too far.
Yeah, that's a stretch.
But
I think
you can put him at 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And like when you talk about greatness at the quarterback position, you are never going to say that about the quarterbacks that we've named throughout this whole show. You're never going to say that they are the 7th or 8th player on their team.
I will say
you know what I'm saying?
You can do exactly what that team has done if you insert A, B, C, D, X, whatever quarterback into that offense. You can quarterbacks.
I'm talking about the players.
I would definitely say Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey,
Debo.
I don't know.
Ayuk.
But we're taking Debo. But Debo is
in the draft. You taking Debo?
Oh, okay. We're talking draft. We're talking. Well, there's a reason why he was a 6th round pick. I mean, come on.
I'm
taking Fred. I'm taking Fred Warner over him.
No, I'm not saying the actual draft that they were. I'm saying if you drafted,
line the players like we on the schoolyard. Line them up.
CMC, Fred Warner, Ayuk, Samuels, Trent Williams. Now we lining them up. Bosa,
Greenlaw. Charvarius Ward,
yeah, which I don't love. How does he become a dog with them? But what was you doing?
He was good with us.
He was average.
His last year with the Chiefs. The last year he got dogged out by Jamar Chase in the AFC Championship game. Him and Fenton. But I'm taking Ward over Purdy. What does Purdy do? What does Purdy do? What does he do special? If the play breaks down?
All right, this is what Purdy does special is he saves the 49ers a lot of money. That's what he does.
Exactly.
I mean, he saves the 49ers a lot of money because they're never going to have to pay him.
No, what he does special is he takes care of the football. He's limited his mistakes. That's exactly what
a game manager is.
Yeah, that's true.
A special player, a dog, will take over the game. I've always said this about quarterbacks in NFL. If you have a great quarterback on your team, he is going to be responsible for 8 games a season, of winning 8 games in that season. You cannot trust Brock Purdy to win you by himself 8 games. Did he do a good job last week of kind of being methodical, marching?
He got out of trouble.
Yes,
I will say last week was probably one of the best games I've ever seen him play against Detroit.
To Ayuk.
Yeah, that was nasty.
You think that's gonna happen again?
Oh no, not against the Chiefs defense.
Huh? Like, this is my thing.
Oh, you talking about that bounce off
the tip? Yeah.
But because I bet, I'm not a big bettor, but I placed a bet and I was like, I think I had him under 272. He ended up going for 267. So I'm in there shaking in my boots, watching this game. But he ended up playing really well.
Bro, I'm telling you, Spags, the way that Spags is finna cook up on Brock Purdy, because in the playoffs, especially in the Super Bowl, your weaknesses get magnified so much. Like, whatever you do the worst, everybody's going to see.
Yeah.
So take away his first option. Take away his second option. We know he's going to run.
Well, and the beauty with the Chiefs with Spags is that, this entire postseason, we've had to play against mobile quarterbacks. So we've had to have a spy. You got to have Willie Gay as a spy or somebody else against Lamar Jackson, against Josh Allen. I ain't got to do that with Brock Purdy. He ain't going. Now, he's extended the play a couple times, but we're not really too concerned with that. We're going to send it to him.
Brock Purdy got an arm?
No.
Like,
now, let me ask
somebody
y'all this,
open.
Let me ask y'all this. What is going into this game? What is y'all biggest concerns?
Oh, CMC.
Yeah, absolutely.
CMC is your biggest.
If you hold Christian McCaffrey to under 75 yards, Chiefs, there shouldn't be any shot of a doubt about the Chiefs winning this game. He is the guy that you have to keep out of the end zone. You have to stop him from getting hot. Keep him out of the pass game. You've got the run, and the Chiefs' run defense has always concerned me for years. I don't know what it is against the run that the Chiefs don't do well, even though you got
Bob Sutton.
I'm
PTSD.
like, man, I've watched several games this year. I'm like, this dude is cooking, and he shouldn't be playing that well. So that's my concern, is run defense against the 49ers.
I think you can hold Debo. I think you can contain Debo and Ayuk.
It's the play calling with CMC and them having the earmuffs on and not paying attention to all the bullshit that the 49ers going to be doing in the back.
Did we even name the tight end?
Oh, Kittle.
Kittle? and the best player
in that list. We didn't even say
I don't
Kittle.
know.
Yeah, like I said,
you don't put Kittle over Brock?
No, I doubt. Most certainly I would.
I think what I mentioned it last week on the pod, where it was like the biggest thing the Chiefs have to do is not give up the big play. Because
they've been excellent at that.
If you don't give up because they got some big playmakers. They got Ayuk, they got Samuels, they got CMC, and they got Kittle. So that's a lot of guys to try and hold. So somebody's gonna go off. I'm okay with Debo going for 100. I could care less.
But in my opinion,
I don't want CMC cooking though.
In my opinion, I think the Bills I think the Bills have just as good as talent
but they're, I think their number 2 was out, wasn't he? Gabe Davis was out.
Oh, yeah, Gabe Davis was out.
Who has given me the blues every time we played against them. So the Bills are a better team in my opinion, offensively. I think with Josh Allen, obviously the 49ers have better weapons. I think Josh Allen is a bigger threat to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Lean on that defense, dog. Lean on them corners. We got a top 5 corner group in the league, and
I agree.
I think you put the corners up, man them up against them receivers, take them out, and stack the box against McCaffrey, similar to what they did against the Ravens.
I've said this for a few weeks now, man. Like, I think just around the nation, altogether, NFL world, that the Chiefs DBs, the whole DB room don't get enough respect around the whole.
Don't.
Around, I think this is one of the best core of DBs in the entire league, in my opinion.
Especially with Brian Cook being out.
Yeah,
and then last week wasn't Edwards out a couple plays last week?
He played the whole game.
No, he Mike Edwards got hurt at one point or another throughout the game.
Because that's how Deion Bush was able to get in.
Now with not the DB room, but losing Amenahue, that's real big against CMC. That's really tough. So I'm interested to see how
we'll see 97 get in there, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
But Karlaftis, the thing that impresses me with him, along with the double-digit sacks, his discipline to be able to contain the run.
He
for the
is
most part.
He is a guy that's on paper a dog. You don't necessarily always see him. We've talked about this with just defensive linemen in general don't get the credit they deserve unless you're a DN. But like guys like Chris Jones, like people in our comments were talking about because we said Chris Jones is probably a top 10 guy ever, honestly, at the defensive tackle position. But the DT doesn't get the credit because they're not flashy.
Oh, by the way,
you know.
Do you agree with that? Because was that YouTube? He was getting
cooked.
Maybe
YouTube, TikTok.
We said this guy. We said top 10. I think one of us said like top 5, probably all time. Interior defensive lineman, defensive tackle.
We're not talking DN.
We're not talking DN. We're saying
interior. I think Chris Jones is creeping top 5.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because I can't even.
Yeah, excuse me. Cook me, please. Because I can cook back.
I can't name. I can maybe Aaron Donald,
Joe Green,
Vince Wilfork, Joe Green, and Wilfork is kind of on the edge of that, and then maybe Sapp. Did he play on the
Sapp? Definitely. Sapp is top 3.
Yeah, but I think Sapp was listed as a DN.
He D tackle.
I think he's listed as a DN now.
And then
Warren Sapp was D tackle.
And then drawing a blank on his name.
John Randall
played for the Packers. He passed away. I don't know.
Gilbert Brown.
No, he might have been listed
93?
as a DN though.
You talking about Reggie White?
Yeah,
Reggie White DN.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
What about Sue?
And Dominic, I ain't putting him nowhere near the top 5.
He was
top
a dog.
He was good. Yeah,
he was a dog. But Chris Jones has shown up each and every year.
Chris Jones has been a difference maker and is the reason why Patrick Mahomes is going after his 3rd ring.
Absolutely.
I did say Aaron Donald at the beginning of that, right?
Of course. Yeah, but that's the thing. People don't realize, like, a guy like Chris Jones or a guy like Aaron Donald or a guy like anybody on this interior, they're the reason why these other guys are eating.
Yeah,
they're the reason why George Karlaftis is getting sacks. Charles Omenihu, Mike Dana,
Frank
Clark
was getting sacks.
It's like these guys take pressure off of you. When you got 2 offensive linemen on this guy, of course somebody's gonna get D4'd.
Justin Houston, off of Chris Jones.
Yeah,
that's a good indicator too. Like whoever's next to him, and every single one of them guys have been eaten, and they got big contracts. D4 got a big contract because of him.
Yeah,
Frank Clark. You see it. We just listen to him.
Yeah.
Even 97 Okafor, he was getting busy sometimes. Emmanuel Ogbah, he was getting busy sometimes in 19. Terrell Suggs, he made an impact in the Super Bowl year.
This goes on.
I forgot.
I feel like you just
Carlos Dunlap.
Yeah.
Come on, man. If that's a good indicator, whoever's next to you eating, you doing good.
Suggs was on the Super Bowl team?
Yeah, Suggs was on the 54 Super Bowl 54 team.
Hey, hold on.
And that made me salty. Him being in Baltimore, showing his ring off.
Wait,
like really?
Yeah.
Was that why he was wearing Orioles stuff and not Ravens gear? Because he was decked out in Baltimore Orioles gear.
Oh, I didn't peep that.
Yeah,
Suggs is a Raven.
He's a Raven. He's a Raven, but I'm saying he was wearing a Baltimore Orioles hat and shirt. Just like I do. I wear even when I had the Chiefs watch party we were doing the other day. I was wearing all my Royals stuff.
Yeah.
Or all my Royals stuff.
Yeah.
But he was not wearing any Baltimore Ravens stuff. He was wearing Baltimore Orioles stuff. I forgot he played for
but I mean it wasn't like he played 5 years with us.
No, he got a ring though.
He came in for us. He got a ring with the Ravens.
He got a ring with Ravens too. Yeah. But that's maybe he was like, I don't know who to root for. I don't know, I doubt it.
Perhaps.
And man, both his coaches are still there too, going at it.
Yeah. Speaking of coaches, and this is going to talk about somebody who's no longer with the Chiefs, but he spent a large amount of time with the Chiefs, and I just thought I'd get your opinion. EB, do you think that there's a deeper problem with him? There's got to be at this point.
Eric Bieniemy
not being hired as a head coach.
Oh.
It wasn't going to happen after this season.
But still, they got rid of their head coach, and for the Commanders to bring him in as
they was trying to go the whole different.
But no, he had a whole.
He's assistant coach.
Assistant head coach.
Yeah, assistant head coach.
I think he deserved to be a head coach a long time ago, and he still deserves one now because the Washington offense was cooking at points in this year.
I mean, he was leading for like the first 5-6 weeks of the season.
Yeah, we talking about with Sam Howell. They got dogs in Washington now. Don't get it twisted. They got dogs. They got backs. They got receivers. They got D.
And I think people forget that at one point or another the Redskins were a perennial team.
In the 80s?
Black history fact. First black quarterback won a Super Bowl with the Washington Redskins at the time. Super Bowl MVP.
Joe Gibbs is probably the most underrated coach of all time. 3 bowls with 3 different quarterbacks.
Yeah, and he came in just out of injury. You know what I'm saying? He didn't think he was going to be on the team. 350 yards, 4 tugs.
But EB deserves. People don't like his style, man.
I think that's the thing. I even showed them a clip the other day of the Super Bowl when the video that pops up every year of Patrick asking to run Wasp. You could just tell that relationship wasn't there. Because Pat's excited, he's trying to get a play, EB is just kind of looking at his thing, and he goes, hey, he wants to run Wasp. He's not really like, yeah, we should do that. He's like, hey, he wants to run. To me, that showed me something. Maybe.
I agree.
Maybe.
I agree. I think EB was at the moment was just trying to stay calm.
Yeah,
probably.
I do agree with you on, I think there's some behind the scenes stuff that
you gotta win. You gotta be able to win a locker room over.
There is no assistant coach with his resume. I don't believe. I think you'd be hard pressed to find another assistant coach with his resume in the history of the NFL that wouldn't get a head coaching job. There is no reason for it. Like this dude has
there's a reason.
Been the most. I mean,
we don't know what it is.
We obviously there is some underlying reason that nobody is seeing.
He's straight to the cut. Like I remember we was in training camp. This was in like 14 or 15. DeAnthony Thomas, he broke off for a run. And he just half-hearted sprinted to the pylon. And who was the first person to come get on his ass? EB. You get the whole training camp heard him in St. Joe. You don't get your woman across the like
play hard.
Yeah. And to me, in my opinion, that's great coaching.
For sure. I appreciate that.
And I think that like being a player's coach can be defined differently in different ways, because I can get on your ass, but then 5 minutes later, when we in a break period or something, when we in a water period, I come grab you like, look, bruh, I'm trying to do this because I care and I want you to be your best, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of some players respond to that. But it's look, we in a different age with different guys who think and act different, who've been treated different. And as a result,
the money different, you know.
Yep. And as a result, sometimes you gotta not cater to them, but I believe you can adjust your style and you can still be you, but you still have to be considerate of how they take in your information, because if you too busy trying to prove a point and be who you be, they ain't even finna listen to you. So you just doing this for nothing.
Right.
But that's just what I've heard is part of the problem.
I think it's you got to win over the locker room.
You know,
speaking of DeAnthony Thomas, that was a guy who I had high hopes for, just because if he was flashy, back at Oregon,
he served his purpose.
I thought he was going to be that guy. That's just my opinion.
You thought he was going to be Tyreek?
I mean, similar, but Tyreek was a little bit of a different breed. He was kind of always a return specialist back at Oregon, but he played really good at back too.
I truly believe.
I expected a little bit more, but that's just a homer.
I believe that, and y'all gonna disagree with me because it's working, but I think this formula of just speed guys just needs to go away. It needs to go away. Why? That is what since Philly.
Yeah, that will never leave Andy Reid's resume. Getting the Eagles getting Terrell Owens was a blessing that should have never had happened. Eagles fans were surprised when they got him.
They took a sorry team, to be honest, to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it was because a lot of it.
But I mean, look, Rashee Rice ain't a speed guy. I mean, he's a quick receiver, but he's not a speed guy.
He's still on the top end of
Reid's never looking for a big body, which as a Chiefs fan, I would love to see. I would love to see you get
Could you imagine having like a Rice and a DK Metcalf?
You had the opportunity. You chose McCole Hardman, who got a Super Bowl ring. DK Metcalf ain't got one. I mean, so it's working. I mean, you got to go, because even this was the season where I was, even as a fan, where I was like, all right, shit, man, we might need somebody. But look at where we at.
Passed on Pickens.
Passed on a lot of guys.
Well,
I could go down the list on running backs and receivers we passed on. But we don't know what you don't know.
Do those receivers fit into a West Coast Andy Reid RPO offense? Like
T.O. did?
This offense is different.
Yeah.
This offense is different.
No, I'm saying like he likes that big arm at quarterback with the guys who can just go and get it. Because he did it with Vic and
they got running routes, man.
Deshaun Jackson. And I would even say, well,
what was my man that said the N-word at
the Riley Cooper?
Yeah.
We ain't forgot about you. I think I saw some of him the other day. I was like, no, bro, we ain't forgot about that.
Who was
shit
number 84 on that 04 team? Freddie. He was thanking his hands. Freddie, y'all know who I'm talking about? He wore the championship belt. He's number 84. Freddie Mitchell.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think it was Freddie Mitchell. Yeah.
So, but now this would be the year Chiefs got to get somebody. MVS is on his last year of his deal.
Look,
so they're gonna get somebody.
Look, man, that wide receiver room finna be revamped.
Oh, it has to be.
Remodeled.
It's gotta be.
Listen, you trade all your picks, go up and get Marvin Harrison.
We good.
Nah, I think you just get a T. Higgins.
Wait,
We can't do that, bro.
Tell me, you gonna say no?
We cannot trade all our picks. We got too many holes.
You gonna say no to Marvin Harrison?
We need a D tackle.
You got to realize that
we need a corner. We're gonna need a line. Willie Gay is gone. Snead is probably gonna be gone.
Yeah.
Chris Jones, we ain't got no money.
They don't want to pay him.
And they don't want to pay him.
What was the whole point
Nick
of
Bolton's gonna be
structuring
gone.
Pat Mahomes' deal the way he did was to keep players and to keep
We are keeping players.
like-
But he's still getting 50 a year, 45.
still.
I mean, that's a steal for a guy like him. I mean, they're gonna have to pay somebody. I mean, George is not yet. Nick Bolton's not yet. But
Look
those
at
two are
the
coming
contract. We got Nick Bolton contract coming up. We got you. So you either got to pay Snead or McDuffie. Which one you paying? Because we're not paying both.
I'm paying the All Pro McDuffie,
up.
the guy who didn't get it.
I would take Snead. You got how long? When is Justin Reed's contract up? I mean, you got a lot.
I think that's after this
You
year.
got a lot of holes. Like this defense will look a lot different.
We can't
next
trade
year.
all that.
No.
We need O lineman. We need a left tackle. Because Donovan Smith is this probably gonna be his last game. We got
Taylor.
Pacheco's contract. Like I don't know. They're probably not going to renew his contract though because he's a running back and he'll be 28-ish by the time that contract is out. So
That's the unfortunate thing in the NFL, man, is that you give your all early on to get paid, and running backs don't reap the reward. Unfortunately,
Well,
yeah,
they
don't.
do. They just starting to. Is that there's this trend of them not doing it? Like Jonathan Taylor still got his money at the end of the day. He had to go through a ringer to get it.
Saquon ain't getting
He
his.
got his money.
Man, what do you get? 12?
Now, that's somebody who I would love. That's on my wish list.
That's somebody
I know
who I
it ain't
think-
happening though.
But that's somebody that's who I expected Clyde Edwards-Helaire to be. You know what I'm saying? Like
What?
he
You did?
can't- I-
What?
Not like that, but the fact of like Saquon can catch out of the backfield. He's shifty. He can make plays. And CEH was great in the SEC.
Saquon is like twice
his
CEH's
size, right?
But still, I'm talking about skill set.
But that's
and
like-
ability.
I was thinking more of a Sproles. That's what I was thinking he was
With
gonna
Clyde, yeah.
be. But he didn't even end up being like.
But Clyde has shown up in the games that he's been put out.
He
there.
has. He's
I'll
been-
give him his
He's
credit.
been good this year.
But he'll be
This
gone.
is last. This is
Yeah,
last
he'll
year.
be gone,
This is his last
unfortunately.
game as a Chief. He
so,
gone.
Unfortunately.
okay, then why didn't the Chiefs? What stopped the Chiefs from going out and getting a guy at trade deadline? Still to this day, I don't understand what happened. I'm talking about receivers.
Yeah,
Receivers,
that's what I didn't quite
I
get
don't.
either.
I still don't understand.
Trying to stick to the script, man.
Yeah.
Trying to invest. Like you've invested
think-
time and energy into Sky Moore. Like you,
They had to look.
You're just
They
trying
had
to-
have been looking.
Yeah, man.
Because
Again,
Hopkins was sitting right.
but Veach is
Well,
not
that's-
willing to pay. Unfortunately, he is I think he's probably one of the cheapest GMs in the league.
the Chris Jones contract held that up.
The Hopkins comp.
That might have, yeah, that makes sense.
Because
I know they had to been looking at Hopkins.
if
He was
they-
just waiting for a team.
If they had signed Chris Jones, that would have freed up money this year to go get.
But if I'm Pat Mahomes and if just knowing what I know about the sports business, I know he's having conversations with them in this offseason of like, what do
Hey
we do?
y'all, yeah,
Like, hey, we made it. I may do, but we need to do something because you got imagine just
they just need one.
Yeah, that's all you need.
One more.
That's all you need.
I think you could squeeze a little bit more juice. We talked about that earlier with Kelsey. I think like you can squeeze one more out of him, but you draft another tight end this year though, similar to what Kelsey does. We got Noah Gray, and Noah Gray has been pivotal in games this year with some of his catches.
Blake Bell too. I mean, not as pivotal, but I think
Who's the other one?
Draft. That's it. Blake Bell,
and Noah Gray, but
Noah
they've
Gray,
also
Travis
been on the
Kelce.
team for 4 or 5 seasons now.
Need one more. We need one more
so-
tight end, dog. We need a tight end. We need a left tackle, and we need one more receiver.
You don't need. You talking about this draft?
Oh, we need.
You
I
don't
think
need
so.
a tight end.
Oh, yes, we do.
no, you don't.
Oh, yes, we do.
no, you don't. You got that would not wait. The first things first, in my opinion. I'm an outsider. Go get you a receiver. Don't go get it in the
We
draft.
need both.
Don't go get it.
We're gonna have money to play with
go buy a big name.
because MVS is $10 million a year.
Yeah.
That's gone now.
Oh, that's
gone.
I know I don't know if you saw the whole stuff with Jamar Chase and T Higgins about the Super Bowl predictions.
that's
Jamar
cute.
Chase
That's
he hate the Chiefs, which is fine.
We
But
love
the Burrowhead, all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? And y'all got our number, but when the time comes, y'all couldn't finish the deal. And when we go, we finish the deal, unfortunately, for y'all. But I would love a T Higgins. I know I think that
Nah, I'm good on him.
I would love it. I would love it. I just like the fact that he's
too
young.
expensive.
Yeah, well, that would be the problem, but he's young, so I think you got to get somebody that can continue to flourish with Patrick Mahomes.
How about Calvin Ridley? Cheaper.
I mean, he had one good game, and everybody went crazy on Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, but he's 28 now, I think.
I mean,
28,
really,
28.
after that first game of the season, what did he really do though?
Yeah, but look who's throwing on the ball. Look at his offense, man. I mean,
He's got a good quarterback.
He's got an average quarterback.
He's got a good quarterback.
I think Calvin Ridley can come here on a deal that could be sweet towards the Chiefs.
Well, yeah, he's shifty in speed.
He wouldn't be the one receiver. Rashee Rice would be that.
Can we get a bigger guy?
Calvin Ridley's like 6'2".
Who is I don't even know what free agents will be this coming season outside of Hopkins available.
I can tell you who's available and who is 6'3".
How about Mike Evans?
I like him too.
Mike Evans is a good one.
I got
another
Michael though. Pittman.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. It depends on the price.
They gonna sign him. The Colts ain't gonna let him go.
I mean, that'd be foolish for them too.
Yeah, I'll be pissed. I'm gonna be hot if they no. But he's out there. Yeah. Why wouldn't y'all look at Michael Pittman? Have Michael Pittman and Rice?
Yeah,
bro.
You just gotta ask yourself, what was the last big free agent signing the Chiefs have ever done at wide receiver position? It just doesn't happen.
Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, Sammy Watkins. Yeah, that's homeboy.
Derek Alexander, Jeremy
Maclin. Yeah. But that was before the Mahomes era. Sammy Watkins was here during the Mahomes era.
That's like second tier.
Yeah, that's what Andy Reid.
Oh, you talking about like AJ Brown?
Yeah, I'm talking about like
what the Chiefs like try to go trade for like Devontae Adams, like
that. You think the Raiders would ever let that?
Nah, that ain't never gonna happen.
But you got to look at in his position. He's like, man, was this really the best decision? Because he left to go play with his college teammate who's no longer there.
Yeah.
He ain't been targeted. I mean, if you watch the Chiefs game, they won, but they didn't complete a pass for 3 quarters.
They would never send him.
No, they wouldn't. They would never do send it to a divisional rival. I would love to see it. So I can't think of it. I think
Ayuk might be a.
I think the Chiefs like the mid-tier guys. I think Andy Reid likes that.
Well, I mean, you got to with a $50 million quarterback.
Yeah,
you got to
because he can make magic happen with those guys.
You saw what happened when you give a quarterback a great quarterback, which he is. When you give him a great receiver, i.e. Tom Brady, Randy Moss, magic happens.
Yeah, but what happened?
Give this man talent. If you give him a talent, he had it.
You
saw it with Patrick or you saw it with Tyreek Hill.
But does Randy Moss have a ring?
Come on.
I'm just saying. You talking about magic? Randy Moss. Just because you went 16-0, Randy Moss doesn't have a ring. So yeah, they went to the Super Bowl, but look at what happened last year, man. You also have to look at the Chiefs.
But you did have greatness with Tyreek Hill's going to be a Hall of Fame.
Yes.
So you saw with the numbers and stuff they was able to put up, ungodly numbers when he had Tyreek Hill. If you give him a guy with special talent, he is going to put up ungodly numbers.
But see,
I don't disagree with that.
This is where the fans and the actual team itself, like the people who work in the front office, get here's the line. Gigs where we can't cross it, where we cannot come to an agreement is, okay, we've invested draft picks in this and that and the third, and Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney, they traded draft picks for him, and whoever else they drafted that receiver, and the fans is like, oh, but there's free agents here, McCole, and we want to replace him as free agents, and how can we not doing this and doing that? Well, bro, we've invested resources into them. We've invested time into them. We've invested in coaching into them.
It's
and we have to let them play. We got to let it
business.
play out to an extent. Now, if you're going out there dropping passes and tip passes and there's interceptions here and pick sixes here, and like how Tyreek was doing this last year in 21, it was like 2 or 3 tip passes that went
he's still dropping passes.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
He's doing that.
He hides like that a lot because with his speed and his dynamic.
But
plays.
I will say
they got to invest in those draft picks. They got to let them develop. But like after this year, it's probably like time is probably out for Sky Moore. Like
probably it didn't pan out.
Yeah,
but I think Chiefs fans also have short-term memory also. This is coming from true Chiefs fans, is that Chiefs fans only appreciate some things when they're good, but they forget about all the bad, like i.e. Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce's first 2 seasons with the Chiefs, he was not the most loved character in Kansas City.
Well, he was hurt his first year.
First year he was hurt. Second year he dropped a lot of balls. He kind of did the taunting stuff.
That was 16. That's when he threw the
threw the flag.
He threw the towel at the ref.
He did the whole jerk.
That was 14.
Yeah, so
against the Broncos.
he wasn't loved.
Yeah.
But so you got to. I mean, in Veach we trust until it don't work. at this
And
point.
Veach, and that's my whole point, dog. And Veach, we trust. We can't just trust Veach. Sometimes be like, damn, we got a good ass defense, and blah 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 blah, and then like we got to let the receivers
and
develop.
I think that's it's proven its point. The statement of defense wins championships because you had a great
Football
defense.
don't change, bro.
You had a great defense, and you know what? Your offense was a little shaky at times, but you got a guy that could get it done. You didn't have a game manager. Now with the game manager back there, then it's a little different story. But you got the best quarterback in the game who is light years ahead of everybody else at this point. There's no more comparisons. The Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, great quarterbacks, but there's just another tier where Patrick Mahomes sits by himself currently in the NFL. So they're getting it done. I mean, I think Chiefs fans will be pissed this season at the draft because they're going to pick up some more defensive guys. With their first round pick, I'm willing to bet they don't draft anybody on the offense. I'm willing to bet they don't.
I think that's a mistake. I think
It's definitely got to be defense. I
think that's what they'll do because it's been winning. The formula has been working.
Well, they got to reload.
You know,
we talked about the number of players.
No,
and when did we pick up? Was Rashee Rice picked in the first round or the second round? Yeah, I mean,
in from the new age
of
quarterbacks,
SMU, nobody knew much about him.
We have noticed that you can, when you have a great quarterback, you can do more. He will do more with less. And that's what he is proving right now.
With quarterbacks, are you the trailer or are you the truck? Are you getting pulled along or are you pulling the team along?
And you got to ask yourself, all right, if in the front office, like you said, Brett Veach, we're in the Super Bowl. So is really an offensive weapon. Now, yes, that's probably in the forefront of their minds, but not a first round pick. Maybe not a Debo Samuels type of guy or DeAndre Hopkins, but I think
maybe if there's a good left tackle.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We're at 30, because the Chiefs are going to be 31 or 32.
That's a second round.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a second round.
There won't be any good left tackle. But again, I think
But this MVP just got picked last in the first round. This year's MVP.
And so did Clyde.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. Which the Clyde was the only one that concerned me. I mean, we passed on a lot of good running backs that year.
Jonathan Taylor,
J.K.
Dobbins,
Moss.
But it is in Veach we trust, though, bro.
Oh, Swift.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift was in that draft
Swift too.
I think no, wait, was he before Clyde?
I think he was drafted. Clyde was drafted in the first round. Oh yeah, all these other
he was
running backs. Running backs were drafted in the second. Swift, Taylor, all those guys were drafted in the second round. Was Etienne drafted the same year too? Travis Etienne?
I don't know.
He might have been on that draft board.
I thought it was Etienne.
Okay. Etienne. You're right. So I think that the Chiefs will be fine. It's hard to tell them what to do when the formula's working.
Maybe they're not good at drafting offensive players.
Historically, the Chiefs really aren't.
Rice seems to be. I'm 100%. I'm saying it again. I sound like Brooke Record, but I'm 100% walking back my thoughts on Rashee Rice because I'm like, this dude,
especially that callback touchdown last week,
bro. This dude, I think
he's had at least 3 callback, I believe, this season.
It's ridiculous, man.
I think he might be that dude.
I think so too, and I do agree with you. Something in the offense has to change once that that name is gone, because that's a safety blanket. So and Rashee Rice has proven to almost be that safety blanket at times. So it's not too scary, but Pat's never been without that. And so when he loses that piece, everybody was worried about the Tyreek Hill. I wasn't concerned with that. If we would have got rid of Travis Kelce, that would have been concerning for me. Honestly, way over Tyreek Hill any day of the week.
I think it's like you'll see. Remember how the Patriots they kind of transformed. Y'all talked about it with Randy Moss and all of them. Okay, and then there was another phase of that dynasty where they moved on from Randy Moss and went to the 2 tight end sets with Gronk and the Killer.
Yeah,
and then I don't mean to make light of that.
I don't know if you saw Amendola. He was asked. He was like, "Was him going to jail, did that help you out?" And he was like, "Man, I ain't gonna lie, it did, because I was about to get cut that year. It helped me out."
And then then the last part was just Gronk, and then not even Gronk being Gronk, just Gronk being that red zone threat. So I think you'll see
Brady got it done with no names.
He did for most of his career. Deion Branch was almost the MVP of one of them, or was he the MVP of the Super Bowl in 04?
His Super Bowl target, I think the Atlanta game, when they came back, was a lacrosse player. What was his name? He went off. He went off in the second half.
Is it Danny Woodhead?
No, not that. He was a receiver, and he played he was drafted, but I think he played lacrosse in college. And I cannot think of what his
Chris
name
Hogan is.
Chris Hogan. That was
for real.
It was Chris Hogan.
Brother.
It was Chris Hogan.
Man, look. I think you'll see the Chiefs, like when Kelsey retires, I think you'll see the Chiefs offense just morph into something else.
Well, yeah.
We don't know.
I think, like you said, the morphing is something else because that offense, as much as nobody really realized, it's built around Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes. It's built around Kelce basically having a 10 option routes every play.
Well, it's that but they're also being better at playing through Pacheco as well.
Yes.
And that's important in these playoffs, dog.
Scary.
Without that, they don't win.
And I think if McKinnon wasn't hurt, it would be a completely different story.
Oh, he's back too. Y'all see that?
I did not.
McKinnon's back.
Oh, we're going.
Designated return from injury.
Clap it up for that. Clap it up for
Yes,
that.
sir. Hey, Jerick McKinnon is the realest on the team.
Bro,
dog.
he's one of my favorite players
Love
on the team.
him.
He's a
Yeah.
dog. To be able to go down in a Super Bowl and not score,
Yes,
dog,
sir.
you can cut me next week.
Yeah.
I'm scoring.
Word?
I'm scoring. Now, if I'm a player, now as a homer, it's a little different.
Well, he's
but
got the.
Come on, man. You
he's
gotta
got-
get
he's
your
got-
ring,
He's
dog.
got the C on his jersey, right?
Yep,
He's
he
a
can.
captain.
He did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's. I mean, because for most of the time he coming off the bench, and as a captain, that's.
Well, he came off the bench,
Just
but I
gotta
think
show you like
what
how he is truly in the locker
I
room.
think the year before he led the team in receiving touchdowns.
Yep, last year.
So I mean, he's in the 31. I mean, that's a guy that I wouldn't be mad if he came back.
Love
I don't know if
Jerick
it'll
McKinnon.
happen, but I was glad they worked it out this season.
You know who I want to fill if Jerick McKinnon don't come back, you know who I want to fill that role. And I think he's perfect, Raheem Mostert.
I agree.
Most
If he were to lead the Dolphins, man, he would be perfect.
he ain't leaving.
You never know.
I mean,
He
You
had
never
what,
know.
20 touchdowns this year?
It broke the record. I'm pretty sure.
And
what's the
22,
other
I think?
name?
Who?
The other running back.
Oh,
At Chain.
yeah,
Cheney or
a chain.
But that's I rather he's the faster one.
yeah, but he's a rookie. They're not
he
getting
ain't
rid of him.
leaving. Yeah.
They ain't getting rid
And
of him at all.
I think Mostert might have been on a 1 or 2 year deal.
Yeah, and we've seen it happen before. We saw the guy the year before last who broke the record for league touchdowns, Jamal Williams. I mean, he was
he
gone
went from the Lions to the Saints.
to the Saints and didn't get a touchdown until the last game of the season. So anything's possible. But
Jamal Williams had one of the greatest quotes ever on Hard Knocks. I'm an avid Hard Knocks watcher. He said, "If you pissing like a puppy, then stay on the porch and let the big dogs eat." Yes, sir.
I didn't
Yes,
see that.
sir.
I like that. I'm gonna have to use that.
Yes,
I like
sir.
that. We got any Super Bowl? What's your score prediction before we get up out of here?
Shit.
I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring affair.
Nah,
I'ma
it'll be a slugfest.
I'm gonna go 21-17 Chiefs.
I'll just go old school football regular score, like 24-21. We walk off on Harrison Bucker. Old school Tom Brady Super Bowl win.
I like it.
27-24 game winning field goal, Harrison Bucker.
That's crazy. You know, I think about this all the time. Like this, what would this if the Chiefs were to win the Super Bowl? What would it place the Chiefs all time? And it puts us in elite company with the blue bloods in the
Oh, for sure.
NFL.
Oh, so sorry to cut you off.
No, you
but
good.
I saw a list. I posted it on our group chat. You probably didn't look at it, but it was some ESPN writer did a list. He did the top.
Oh, I remember. Yeah.
57. Did the top 57 teams, like our Super Bowl winners,
Mm-hmm.
and he listed them all out. Chiefs, the 2019 Chiefs they were the highest one at number like 23. And then like
Where's the Super Bowl 14?
Just last year's one was number 30.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that like I'm telling you, and like and then
What was 4?
and then the was that 69?
Yeah.
They were like number 40 something.
See, that's
Like,
crazy because let's go down a list of Hall of Famers that's on that defense.
Yeah.
You got Curly Culp, Buck Buchanan, Bobby Bell, Willie Lanier, Johnny Robinson, Emmett Thomas at corner. He's in the Hall. Hank Stram, he's in the Hall. Len Dawson's in the Hall.
That's it on offense.
That's 8 Hall of Famers, bro.
And then you
On
still
that
had a lot of
team. Are we
dogs as well
serious?
that weren't Hall of
Everybody came to see you, Otis Taylor.
Jim
Yeah.
Kearney. People forget
Oh,
about
hell
him.
yeah.
I don't know. He said he basically.
That's crazy.
If you go look at, I'll send you the article.
Please
And-
do
and
so I can block them.
and like what he did was like he said he created basically his own statistical
Yeah, see,
algorithm.
I ain't trying to hear
Like,
that.
But
I
I
was
mean,
like- I
if
was
you're
like-
talking about looking at the tape, man, I mean, I don't know how you put that last Super
You know
Bowl
they
at
had
number
number one?
2023.
They had the 1991 Redskins
Above?
above. That was the number one. That was the number 1 Super Bowl
he on
team
some clown shit
of all time. I was like,
you talking about the Mark Rippon led? I can't even name their running back. They had a great offensive line.
I was like, and then he had I think at number 10. If I'm not,
the 91 Washington team was the least looked at 90s team. Are we serious right now?
No,
nobody paid attention to them in the 90s.
I forgot they won in 91. I was like,
I didn't know. When you brought that up, I was like, wait a minute.
90 Giants, 91 Washington, 92, 93 Cowboys, 94 Niners, 95 Boys, 96 Packers, 97, 98 Broncos. Oh, I could do it all from the beginning. 97, 98 Broncos, 99 Rams.
We bringing Brian B. Shynin back.
I'm a football dude doing radio.
I did not know that.
We bringing Brian B. Shynin back.
Yeah, he just named. I'm taking you to a bar. We can
do
some free drinks.
You want to do 80s?
That's like Homeboy that did the everybody's won a national championship.
I can't do that. I could do football. I could do NFL. I was an avid NFL. I wasn't watching Ninja Turtles and Muppet Babies. I was watching NFL films, bro. Seriously, I'm talking about like at the age of 6, 7. I wasn't watching cartoons. I was watching football. Yeah, playing Tecmo Bowl.
Might have had a viral moment too on some content. I was like, he just named right off the top of his head. Ain't no computer around here, people.
Oh, yes, everything on camera. You don't see, I got the laptop in there.
And then I'm a little older than you. Well, I'm just like 2 years older than you. So, but I love this football shit, man. I love the NFL.
Man, yeah, we gotta have you back because
I love it, man. I appreciate y'all having me on.
We do so much NFL content, but I wasn't sure. I was like, man, you just want to go through everything we got on our list, and I was like, well, he was like, let's keep the Chiefs, but no, we know better next time. Put some respect on his name, all right? Put some respect on his name. All right, man. We'll finish off, man. We do a hypothetical every single episode, man. People that follow us know, man. This one's obviously gonna be based on Kansas City Chiefs, or at least the Super Bowl, and this is brought to you by Baseballism. Go to baseballism.com. You use promo code AD15, and let's get to it. So, all right, man, I'm going to ask you first.
Yes, sir.
So this is what Brandon came up with. So if it sucks, you blame him. If you could choose one of these two advantages going into the Super Bowl, which one would you choose? An offensive play that is guaranteed to result in a touchdown, but it can only be used once. Or you can choose any player off any roster in the NFL outside of San Francisco to play in the Super Bowl with the Chiefs for the entire game.
Just give me the points.
I mean, that's kind of where I was at. You know, that's just a dub. Unless you're down by multiple, but that's a dub.
Yeah, give me the point. I wish you would have had a defensive stop at a crucial time.
I like that
because that's what I think is going to be key to this game is the Chiefs getting off the field on third down.
Yeah, what time?
I think a turnover. I think a turnover is going to be the deal.
You tell me y'all don't want like. I don't know, Chris Jones and Myles Garrett run lining up next to each other.
Yeah, man, but you
don't want Snead and Sauce Gardner on both ends. Like,
of course I do. But we're talking about a gimme.
Yeah, we talking about 7 points.
That having anybody on the team don't guarantee nothing. It just guarantees that the squad will be better. It don't guarantee a dub. I'm talking about points. 7 points.
I guarantee you just if you have Snead and Sauce Gardner, you eliminate their throwing game. You eliminate the air game right there.
Yeah, they ain't throwing it. I mean, who you throwing it at? The line, your tight end.
I just don't know. Right.
We running bubble screen all day.
All right, let's just go with if you had to replace one player on the Chiefs roster. I know this is hard for y'all.
On the defense of the roster, period.
Who are you replacing and who are you putting in? From anywhere in the league currently active.
If I had to replace somebody on that roster, it's probably going to be at the wide receiver position. More than likely. If we're talking about going into the Super Bowl, I don't love our offensive line. They're really good, but Taylor gives up a lot of penalties, but he's good enough to where I'm not about to replace him. I can deal with the 10 yards here and there. I'm probably going to replace Sky Moore or Tony, Kadarius Toney. One of them, now who I put him, Devontae Adams, that list is long. I mean, Justin Jefferson, anybody.
You got to pick one. You got to pick one right now. Who you picking?
I'll take Devontae Adams.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna go a different way. I ain't gonna go receiver just to make the pod interesting. I'll go Trent Williams.
Ooh,
for my left tackle.
But if you now anybody, well, of course, yeah.
Who you putting in?
Trent Williams.
Who you replacing?
No, I'm putting Trent Williams in for Donovan Smith at left tackle. Oh, you're putting Trent Williams. I'm thinking Taylor. When he was saying Trent Williams, I was already thinking Taylor. Okay.
Nah, I'm taking Trent. Oh, I can't pick a 49er.
Yeah, you can't pick a 49er.
My bad. Wait.
Then I would pick a boy out of Dallas.
Laramie Tunsil.
Yeah.
That's what I
No,
pick.
are you kidding me? Quentin Nelson. Are you joking?
Quentin Nelson is a guard who had a bad year last year. I don't know what he did this year.
He can play.
I ain't putting man.
Quentin Nelson.
I'm good, dog. Give me Laramie Tunsil, dog. Nah, because I think that like I just trust 15 so much.
Bro, if he's got protection, it's his curtains.
Please.
Could you imagine if he was running behind that offensive line that Trent Williams had, or Trent Green had? Oh my, nasty work.
But the correct answer is receiver though. If you put a Devontae or a Chase or a Tyreek next to Rashee Rice and Pacheco and Kelsey,
I might turn off the game at half. I might only watch the halftime commercials at that point.
And it's not even like the Chiefs will be super duper, super explosive, even though they could be. It would be the conversion rate on third and 5, on 3rd and 8 when we really need a pass, or on 3rd and 15 when we get a holding penalty or something, and Patrick got to get us out of some shit. In the middle of the field on like the 45-yard line, it's fourth quarter, and we need a 3rd and 15 to get out of some shit, and Rashee Rice is covered. You got Kelsey is doubled. They plan on Pacheco coming out of the backfield. You got to depend on one guy to get a route. We're gonna need that. That would make the Chiefs ridiculous if they could convert every single 3rd and long.
Are y'all ready for mine? Y'all glued to y'all seats?
I ain't got
Lamar Jackson.
I'm
putting him in there.
I'm here to tell you right now. Stay off the weed.
Get out of here, bro.
I'm putting the MVP of the league
At running back.
The
And shouts out to Lamar. I hate to do that
his
to
own
you.
pass last week.
That's disrespectful.
Only against the Chiefs.
That's like,
Oh, you calling him Bill Polian?
Marcus Mariota.
Yo, boy.
oh yeah,
Marcus Mariota. I'm just saying, if you talking about you gonna add him to the roster, he's not playing quarterback. This will be the one time in his career he's gonna have to change positions.
He's the holder.
He gonna do something, but he ain't.
He playing Gabbert.
He ain't playing quarterback. Pacheco, you gonna come in with McKinnon or something, but yeah, nah.
Lamar. See, the thing with last week was Lamar. Like, of course, the interception was bad, but his coaches did not help him.
No, you abandoned what you've done all year.
It was nasty.
You abandoned what you've done all season, which was run the ball. You were the best run team in the league,
bro. They got like that 30-yard run on that 4th and 1. When he kept it, and then the next play, Gus the Bus gets like a 15-yard gain, and he don't touch the ball but 2 more times in the game. That was in the first quarter, bro.
Yeah,
oh my God!
I'm thank you. I appreciate it. As a Chiefs fan, I appreciate it.
He only ran the ball 3 times.
Yeah, but I'm like, you literally had that team average the most yards per carry, the most yards per game, the most, I think maybe even rushing touchdowns on the season. And you abandoned it.
But how many comebacks did they really have this year?
They were not tested.
That's what I'm saying. So when they got up in that early lead, they felt like they had to just drop back in, because they never was really very many times was put in that kind of position.
But you don't ever.
And they did the same thing with the Colts. Like us Colts, we played them this year.
Okay.
And then I'm sorry to bring that up again, but
the Battle of Baltimore, man, the Mayflower.
We played them, and they did the exact same thing. So that's why before this game even happened, I said to y'all, I was like, if they get up early, you're going to make Lamar Jackson throw the football. And when you made him throw the football and have to make plays, he made mistakes.
Yeah. But you run the ball, in my opinion. I mean, when you're up.
I think so too.
That was Andy Reid's biggest Achilles. For me as a Chiefs fan, was like, bro, we come out in second half and abandon the run game all the time. The Bengals game 2 years ago, the first time we played them in Cincinnati, abandoned the run game.
So, the AFC Championship game. I mean, excuse me. I was there. I bet $200 to the dude in front of me and gave him 9 points, dog. I had to get that $200 up because Andy would not run the ball, and the Bengals wasn't rushing no more than 3 guys, man. Yeah. The ends were playing like what I call it satellite coverage, meaning they were not rushing in. They were like spying Mahomes. Like they were playing to the side, and then when Mahomes would kind of break the pocket to try to make it easier throw on the outside, then they would rush, and then he would be in trouble. He had to go back inside. So Andy not running the damn ball, man.
So wait,
Detroit.
Back to this real quick. So y'all taking
Detroit did the same thing.
Players?
Give me the points, man.
Yeah.
Give me the points. The points in the bowl are so crucial, and it's so important for the Chiefs to get up because of the way they've been playing.
Only
That's
one
fine.
play.
That's fine.
And if you had
That's
an
7 free
offensive
points.
play or a defensive play, I'm picking defensive play.
Yeah, I'm getting off the field on third down. That's
Crucial
I'm
third
telling
down.
that's gonna be so crucial
Saying
with
like on a in the end of the fourth quarter, crucial third down, or I guess probably fourth down.
Need to
at
get
that
off
point.
the
I think
field.
converting,
I
keeping Christian McCaffrey off the field is big. Owning the clock on Sunday is huge for the Chiefs. That's why they've lost a lot of their games in the past, that they don't own the clock. I think, obviously keeping them off the field and defense stepping up.
Yeah.
Not allowing them to convert big third downs, which, I mean, if we can keep them at 3rd and 8, 3rd and 10, I'm happy with that.
This might be a very quick Super Bowl. Like this, it might be over before like 10:30 because I think what you're saying is it's a race for the clock.
Yeah.
Whoever gets up, they're going to choke the clock out and going to want to hold that ball.
Yeah. I think this potentially comes down to Andy Reid making the right plays. And I believe in him. He's got us here before, so I think that's what it boils down to. Not abandoning
and not
the
letting
run.
Matt Nagy have say so.
Yeah, no. Go ahead and call them plays, big dog.
I think
Les Spags dial up that D, and Andy Reid pause. And Andy Reid, you that was wild.
At least you didn't do like my man's that's be with Maurice Jones-Drew.
Oh yeah,
I mean, like,
we talked
can the
about
Chiefs ride the D? Like what? Come on, man.
Hey, yo, he was like, damn, that was wild. That was crazy.
All right, my final thought on this. I truly believe if Patrick Mahomes can win this Super Bowl, like first you won a Super Bowl when they took Tyreek Hill away from you and people said you weren't going to be able to do it. And then one of your offensive minds now is away from you. You have a terrible receiving core. Again, defense has stepped up, albeit, but if you win this Super Bowl with this team, I mean, that's, and this is from an outside perspective. This is GOAT status. This is GOAT status. Final take.
Again, unfortunately, football is all about wins.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's hard. It's going to be hard for anybody to ever catch Tom Brady. And the only way to put somebody at that GOAT status is to now change the parameters.
Yeah.
And so I think that if Patrick Mahomes wins on Sunday, there is no doubt in my mind that he is the greatest, most talented quarterback to ever play the game. I don't think there's anybody more talented that's ever stepped on the field at quarterback than Patrick Mahomes that I've seen. I'm young, so I mean, there were some guys that were out there, but what he's doing, but GOAT, obviously he's in the conversation, but I'm not going to cement him as the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Six seasons as a starter, what he's doing. But again, Brady did this in 6 seasons as a starter. I think he had 3, I want to say, his first 6 seasons. You know football.
Yeah,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
he had 3, let's see, 6 plus what was drafted by 2006. Yeah, he had 3, and he got his third in 04, the 04-05 season.
So it'll be hard to call him the GOAT when somebody else has already done it. And that's come from a diehard. I mean, I got the logo on my chest.
Yeah.
For you know what I'm saying? Like I've been this, and this is what people. I'd be at the pool. They'd be like, "How when you get that last year, dog? I've had this since I was like 20." Like
there's
it's
a
been
difference though of how you've done it. These numbers and stuff that he's made, but he wasn't putting the team on the back. People forget because of the legacy Tom Brady was able to create going forward. He forget how dominant that Patriots defense was back then.
Yeah, but if you go back and look at the numbers, like Brady,
They weren't that impressive.
No, Brady.
If you look at those first 2 Super Bowls, his numbers are not that impressive.
Super Bowl, but totality of the season, Brady was getting busy.
It was okay. It wasn't nothing what this man is doing.
He was getting.
It's not even close.
I think at one point in time he had thrown for 5K within that first 6-year parameter.
I don't think so.
No.
Or close to it.
Because
I had this argument with Gary, so I had to pull the stats. I'm a big stat guy.
He was not doing what Patrick Mahomes is doing in his first 6 years. Nobody is.
Brady didn't start
it's not even
cooking.
Close. Nobody is.
He didn't start cooking until like 06 and then 07 when they got Moss.
Yeah.
That's when he really.
Am I up here seriously defending a Chiefs player to you right now?
I'm just look. I'm like you said earlier, man. Like on the verbiage, the use of words, man, getting watered down. Like
I agree with that.
I will agree. Patrick Mahomes will forever be in the GOAT conversation, but I'm not cementing anything until he either passes him or he retires. Now, if you say
I don't think he needs to pass. I don't think he needs.
No, I don't think he needs. I don't think he needs 7
7
championships. I think if and when, and I think it's a high probability this happens, Patrick Mahomes will own pretty much everything but the postseason wins record.
I think Patrick thinks he needs 7.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I think Patrick thinks that. I don't think
Pat Senior think it too. You heard me the other day.
For sure. Yeah, he said 9.
What's your final take for the Super Bowl?
So my thing, man, I look at things in a big vision, big picture type deal. And to me, and I kind of mentioned it earlier, this will put the Kansas City Chiefs organization in elite category. When you think about basketball, you think about the Blue Bloods. Who you think about?
Boston, L.A.
Well, I'm college basketball.
Oh, college basketball. KU.
Yeah,
KU,
UNC.
Duke,
Yeah.
North Carolina,
Kentucky.
Oh, yep, Kentucky. Oh God, you
Oh,
a KU fan? Okay,
Just
all right.
I'm a KU fan because, not to cut you off, my aunt was the first black cheerleader to ever play for
Okay,
KU.
that's what's up.
That's
Black
only
History
why.
Month for sure.
Yeah.
That's
So
beautiful.
we can't forget about that.
But so I think that the Chiefs will move themselves closer to franchise immortality. Like when you think about the NFL, the most successful franchises, the Blue Bloods, the foundations of the NFL, Steelers, Cowboys, Niners, Patriots,
Yeah.
maybe Giants, Raiders. Those are like the brands of the league.
Oh,
The Chiefs move, Packers, the Chiefs move in that territory
sure.
with 4
So,
Super Bowls.
Totality of the NFL, and in the
Yeah.
last, in the within this century, or, you know,
And-
the 2000s and beyond. I mean, I'd say they're
It locks down the D word, the dynasty. The Chiefs will officially be the team of the 2020s, even though we ain't even halfway done with this decade.
yeah.
Okay, and that's what I look at. Like with 4 bowls, you put yourself in line. Again, Packers, they got 4. Giants, they got 4. Cowboys got 5. Niners got 5. Steelers got 6. Patriots got 6. So you put yourself in that category, bruh. Because you think about the teams, they got 3. Denver, Raiders, Dolphins. Well, Dolphins got 2 or 3.
I believe Dolphins have 3. I know they got 2 for sure, but I believe they got 3, right? No,
I think the Dolphins got 2.
It's got 2, but they've been to 6.
Nah, Dolphins been to like 3. They lost 1 to the Cowboys early in the 70s.
I know they've been more than they lost or than they won.
They've been to 3, but Baltimore, they got like, you just think about the franchises though, and where the Chiefs can place themselves if they move from 3 Super Bowls to 4.
I like that.
That's what I'm looking at.
I like that. That no one's ever put it in that type of perspective before, so I appreciate that. And I agree.
Yeah, man, that you do get in that elite category. I think you're talking about Cowboys, Steelers. These are like these are franchises that are synonymous with football. And
Global brand.
That old, like
Hey.
you talked about NFL films. Like
Mhm.
when you think about the NFL films and they show those old championships, they go to Cowboys, they go to Steelers.
Think about the
Yeah.
decades, bro.
Yeah.
The 60s, Packers, 70s, Steelers,
Yep.
80s, Niners, 90s, Cowboys. Patriots had it for 20 years, the 2000s and the 2010s.
Yeah.
2020s, if the Chiefs can win this bowl, this will be ours. We'll have it locked up.
And it's putting our city on the map, man.
Yeah.
That's the one thing
Bro,
I love as a person
tremendously.
who travels a lot. And I apologize to you because my cousin over here is from KCK. I'm Kansas City, Missouri, and no disrespect to Casey. I love KCK. Strawberry Hill.
I don't know where you're going with this.
When I travel,
I'm starting to be
people also ask me, "You from Kansas City, Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas?"
They're asking that
I've
now?
never heard that.
They used to just say Kansas.
You from Kansas? Well, what they got? When I was in Chicago, man. This was like I was like 18. The dude was like, "I got skyscrapers down there in Kansas City." I'm like, I mean, it ain't like this, but yeah, we got some big buildings. Dog, put some
Right.
respect on our name.
Right.
And now we're getting our due respect. This is no longer flyover
That is
country.
true. That
This
is
is
true.
no longer flyover country.
Look, I say this all the time on my show, Hustle and Shine in the Morning. We are living in the golden age of Kansas City.
Oh,
right now.
absolutely, man.
And
Our parents
I like
had to crawl so we could walk.
And do you realize all this is happening at the same time? Like the airport, the Chiefs. First, it started with sporting.
Yeah.
Then, like on a smaller scale. Then it rose to the Royals, winning a championship. And don't underestimate
The Monarchs.
that. Of course. Oh, yeah. Shout out to the Monarchs.
won.
They stay winning championships over there at Legends Field.
Yeah.
But don't underestimate how that Royals run in 14 and 15 inspired the Chiefs across the street.
Yeah.
I
Please
think so.
don't underestimate that because I think that's real. And the Chiefs had just grabbed it and took it to a whole other level that we didn't ever think was going to happen. The revitalization of downtown happening while this is going on.
Streetcar, Crossroads on fire
like
now.
The World Cup, draft, all of this is
the
happening.
Kansas City Current. First women's soccer stadium in the country.
Overall, 35 in Front Street, bro. All of this is happening at the same time, dog. Like we're in the golden age of our city. Live it, breathe it. Remember this time and put this in a time capsule. Swallow it up and enjoy it as much as you can, because it ain't gonna last that long, y'all.
No, I think it made the people in Kansas City, and I think it made owners realize that we are more than just a small
it's
market.
Money to be made out here, dog.
Sports town. Like, because I mean, we're still going to be labeled a small market sports town because of our size
as far
of
as
our
sports,
cities. But I think for a long time the owners were just kind of used to that. You know, well, we're a small market team. We can't afford this. We can't do this. We can't do that. Even beyond Chiefs and Royals, I think it was Sporting too. I think. I mean, I would never have thought that we would be getting the first women's soccer stadium, right? Ever like that. That
must be beautiful.
You would have think that was solidified for like one of the teams on the coast. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And people don't realize it's a lot of money in Kansas City. A lot of old money is in Kansas City. Johnson County bleeds over. Johnson County is one of the top 10 richest counties in the country. So I mean,
I work in Leawood.
I can't say that. He said it the best right there. I'm not to say. When I clip this up, I'm gonna cut all that shit he said, and we're gonna finish on what he said, because he time capsule. You know what I'm saying? Throw it in it. Remember this.
I like that,
because it is great, man. And even for our kids, man, they're gonna grow up in a much better Kansas. Because I remember, being in high school, man. Downtown wasn't nothing what it's like now.
Don't get me started, bro.
Westport,
I went to Northeast High School, bro. I had to ride the Metro to get what's Ride KC now.
Yeah.
But the Metro back in the day, bro, where T-Mobile Center is now, that was a bus stop where it was a bunch of
parking garages,
old parking garages, empty. Like, downtown was nothing. It was nothing for you to do down there.
And the craziest thing now, even
20 plus years ago,
I'm only 31. But even at my age, I grew up in Kansas City, all over. Our grandfather lives on 46 in Kensington. I've been everywhere in this city. But driving in areas now, even at 31, being like, damn, I remember that used to be. Damn, they didn't tore that down. This is a park. I'm like,
I'm 38.
I'm like, golly.
And so I grew up in Village Green. It used to be called Village Green. It's called Plaza East now, by the gates on Paseo.
Yeah,
that's where I grew up at. And to see. Just go down the street, bro. Just go west towards the plaza. It looks totally different now, good and bad, because it's
gentrification.
Now, that's where it's bad, because the red line at Truce has now. If y'all notice, I know we going somewhere different with this, but the Truce red line has now extended to Prospect now.
Oh, bro, it's crazy.
It's Prospect.
Crazy.
I seen.
You see new developments now over there. I'm like, damn, this is $1 million house over here.
What we like for real? This white folks walking their dogs on Euclid in college.
Yeah. The only place you would see white kids like that wasn't from the city was at Brockhurst, and even then it was sketchy back then. But that was the only place they could be, for going to school. Or
crazy,
KC.
Man. But this is this is a golden age of KC, dog. For real, it ain't. We ain't gonna never. I'm not gonna say we ain't gonna never be this hot again, but the way that the Chiefs have a grasp on the worldwide stage right now, one of the cities that have a grasp is like, we gotta take advantage. You gotta strike while the iron is hot.
Hey, like Drake, what a time to be alive. That's really what it is. To be an adult in Kansas City, to be even in your 30s, maybe late 20s, but definitely 30s and beyond, to understand what 10 years ago was like and what the next 10 years will look like, and be able to compare the two, it's crazy, man. So shouts out to Brian B. Shynin, man.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thank y'all.
Host of Hustle. What is it?
Hustle and Shine in the morning.
Hustle
baby.
and Shine in the morning.
Get with it to get wetted. You feel me? KPRS.com. Tap that app.
What time they catch you at?
6 to 10 a.m. man. Every single morning, waking up Kansas City, purposeful, positive, representing Kansas City culture. That's what we do. Hustle and Shine in the morning.
We love it, man. We're gonna give him a round of applause, man.
Appreciate y'all.
Shouts out. We're gonna if he's willing to come back, we'll definitely have him back on the show, man. Hopefully you can meet our other co-hosts as well, Gary. He'll be here next time, man. But until then, man, we're out.